Hi, today I want to talk to you real quick. My girlfriend had some issues with her car here, and yesterday when she got off of work, her car would not start. And I'm going to tell you exactly how I diagnosed the problem and how I checked the alternator and the battery. Now, as you can see, the battery is out. Battery goes right here. But before I go in and talk about the battery, it's in the house. I want to talk to you about how do you check to see if it's the alternator or the battery on your vehicle, any vehicle. Okay, well, you have to get the motor running. That's a must. You have to jump the car off, get it running. Now, once it's running, you turn on your heater or air conditioner, you turn on your high beams, you turn on your radio. You want to have a load on this car. And what's going to happen is then you come out here and check with a voltometer. If it's above 13.4, 13.5, 13.6 volts, then your alternator is producing that good amount of power and your alternator is good. All right. I also want to talk to you real quick about lights. Now, I apologize, this camera may flip on me. If you have a light out like here and you're not sure how to replace it, it's real simple. I'm also going to talk to you about an issue and problem on her car that I discovered. Now, she has a 2001 Buick Century Custom. Now, I apologize. This camera may flip on me. If it does, I apologize. Here and here, you will see these little white pull tab things. Now, you pull these up, and they come off. Now, to get your lights, this whole light has to come out. And doing this with one hand is a pain in the butt. You can see right there the whole light fixture's out. Your bulbs are here, here, here. Now, this light in the front, right here, it's also your turn signal light. It is right here. Now, you can see in there some tape. Now, what happened was, here's something you need to check on. I discovered that the insulation on the wires was wore through and it was shorting out. And that's why this light was not working. The turn signal was not working. When I turned the blinker on, or she did, the back blinker would work, but on the inside it blinked super, super fast. Now, when I took this apart to check the bulb was fine. And that's when I discovered the insulation on the wires had crumbled and the wires kept hitting each other and shorting it out. Alright, once I wrapped that with electrical tape, it's worked fine since. Now let me get this back in here. Pretty simple, put it back in. You have to make sure those tabs go in these holes here. And that goes down like this. Alright, that's how you get your lights here. Real simple, real easy. You just have to pull the whole thing out. And when you put your light back in, put this end in and kind of slide it in this way first. Like that. And that'll make sure that insulation around the light goes in. Let me get this out of the way, then we're going in. And I'm going to show you something. And I got grease on my hand. Something else I discovered is her battery terminal right here was bad. Now, the terminal itself was bad. Now, good thing I'm a pack rat. So I actually had one of these terminals here. You can see they are different. This is made a little bit different than this one. I'm a severe pack rat. I do save stuff. And Good thing I did, because without that new one, I wouldn't have been able to jump her car off. I want to show you something. I'm going to hook this up. Now that's on. There we go. I want that off for now. Now I'm going to do this. I'm going to put this on 20 volt. Now I want to show you. And let's get that up there. And this needs to be up in here somewhere, so it has a good connection. There we go. 12.25. You see it jumping up and down? Now, when I first checked this, it said 12.53, I believe, if I remember right. So that should have been plenty of voltage to start her car. Even at 12.3 volts, it should be enough. Right? Wrong. The battery's lying. Now what's happening is the battery itself may have enough volts to it, but it doesn't have enough amperage to it. Now, if one of your terminals is loose or not properly connected, it can screw up the amperage, and you can still have a good volt. Anytime she tried to turn her car on, all the inside lights would come on, the outside running lights would come on, but as soon as she turned that key and put a load to it, nothing. It turned everything completely off. Just like my solar panel up there, if it's real cloudy or dark outside, I can turn that light on and nothing's going to happen. Because especially cloudy, if there's too many clouds, it's great until I put a load on it, then the light shuts off. That's the same issue with the battery. The battery can lie. That's the point. You have to understand and know if it's the alternator or the battery. Once again, if you have to get your car started, first you check your terminals. Make sure they're tight. If they're tight, jump that thing off. I did try to use this battery pack here. I let it charge all night long, and this battery was so low that this did absolutely nothing, and within 5 minutes this said half full. So let's test this. 12.33, 12.32. I have the small space heater hooked up to the inverter. Watch. You see that? Dropping down to 10. I don't know if you see that or not. Let me turn this off and see if I can get that back on. See if I can get that on the camera. I apologize if you can't see it. It dropped to 10 volts. 10.6, I believe. You see that? 10.2. The inverter went down to 10.2. Now this is showing 11.97. Watch. There's a load on it. It jumped up. I don't know if you can see that or not. I apologize if you can't. And the noise is just driving me crazy. Alright. Let's get back over here. 11.9. Shut this off. What do you know? 12.25, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12.31, 2, 12.32 volts. Should be enough to start a car. The battery is lying. There is not enough amperage. There is plenty of volts. There's not enough amperage to turn a car. Once you put any type of load on this, the battery drops. I don't know if you can see this, but it dropped down to in the tens. I apologize if you can't see that, and that's annoying as hell. See, 11.9. You say, okay, I can possibly start a car with 11.9. The starter's a load, just like this. The battery is lying. Right here. They're showing the correct voltage. With any type of load, it's showing the correct voltage. This is just the inverter. The heater's not on. This is just the inverter. Now watch. Turn off the inverter. Well, what do you know? So you cannot rely on just a voltometer hooked up to your battery to make sure your battery's good. You have to have a load on it to test it. And if you're worried about, is it my battery or my alternator, the easiest way to test this, get the vehicle to run, put a load on it, as heavy of a load as you can put on it. Air conditioner or heater, headlights, high beams, radio, turn all that on, then check it with your voltometer, and if it's over 13.4, 13.6, 13.8 volts, and it's staying running without any issues, your alternator's fine. But remember, your battery could be lying to you. That's what this battery is doing. It's lying. Now, I apologize. I'm going to try to make this a pretty quick video. First of all, do not buy one of these EverStart pieces of crap. Everything EverStart is junk. Sorry, Walmart, it is. This is EverStart. That's why it has a lot more issues than my other inverters. This thing has really never worked right since we've had it. And this is supposed to be 750 amps. No. There's no way. Not even 300 amps. 300 amp continuous, 750 peak. No. There's no way. Like I said, these are junk. Do not buy these. If you're going to buy a lead acid jump starter, do a little bit of research. The Costways have a brand that seem to be pretty good, and they're less than 200 bucks. If you're going to buy one of those lithium power things, jump starters, the lithium battery jump starters with the two cable ends that plug into the little lithium box, you may run into issues. Those things require power to work. Believe it or not, it's supposed to put out power. Some of these things have what's known as like a God mode or a boost mode. If your battery does not have enough voltage, current, or amperage for it to read, it will not charge or jumpstart your vehicle, period. If your battery's too low on either the volts or the amps, those will not work for you unless you put them in like God mode or boost mode. So if you buy one of those, make sure you get one with those settings, because if I hooked one of those up to this battery, I guarantee it would not do anything, because the amperage is just too low in this battery. Like I said, batteries lie. Alright, that's it. I'm fixing to go. I hope this helps somebody out. Anyway, once again, this should work with any vehicle. How to test your vehicle's alternator or battery. Get it running. If you hit 13.6 to 13.8 volts coming into your battery from your alternator, unhook the negative side from your battery, then check the negative cable with the positive side of your battery. So it's a negative cable come from an alternator, or to your alternator from the battery, such and such, whatever. Then the positive side, or better yet, just check negative and positive and see the voltage. Then unhook the negative. And a lot of cars, it has a safety feature. If you do that and unhook it, it will shut the car down to save like the computer or some crap like that, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But if it does, keep the battery hooked up, run a load, a heavy load, air conditioner, heater, high beams, and radio all on at the same time. Then test it with your cheap ass voltometer. See, right now it's reading 12.33 volts DC. But there's no way that has 12.33 volts with any amps. There's no amps in the battery. So, like I said, your battery could be lying to you, but it's easy to test it. It's easy to check it. If you need to work on your lights, you have a Buick Century Custom. That's how you do that. I showed you a little bit ago. Alright, I'm fixing to go. Remember, you have to have a load on your vehicle to test if it's your alternator or your battery. If it's over 13.4 volts coming from your alternator's fine. Then you have a battery issue, or a fuse issue, or a starter issue. Alright, that's it. Everyone have a good day. Bye.